Well, we know where we're going, but we don't know where we've been.
Welcome to Flyover State of Film. We are at episode 11. I am your host for this evening, Joe, or Chindango on Twitter. And we are here with Brian Hurst.
Hey, what's up? What's up, guys?
Third place in the great Twitter battle of who has the most sex appeal. In fourth, that would be one TJ Dex.
I don't want to talk about it.
Looking suicidal, I see.
It's rigged. It's rigged.
And Yusuf Khanas's head in second as of now.
Oh, hi. I didn't see you there. How's it going, guys?
Please, everybody, please vote. It's still on for another 20 hours or some shit like that. Vote.
Maybe
you can get this pouty motherfucker's
Alex
face.
Hale? What's her Twitter? Go look her up.
Doctor.
We all retweeted it a million times.
Yeah, you'll see. You probably vote it. Everybody, what's everybody drinking? How's everybody doing?
Oh, I wanted to say I like that poll. It's right now it's perfect for me because Joe's in the lead, and that's probably right. But TJ's in last, and I don't think he's the least sex appeal, but I know that it hurts him the most to be in last. So that's what makes it great. Like the fact that I know he takes it the hardest is why it's right.
He's about to go on Broad Street and start petitioning.
I'll have you know, my sex appeal is super high, at extreme levels. So you're wrong, and definitely vote for TJ, everybody.
I just can't tell. It's when you're in actual person with him, in proximity of his human form. It's different than seeing him through the screen, you know.
Yeah. So
we want to crack the beers.
So sex boys.
Sexy man here. Want to crack the beers.
What is everyone drinking? What's everyone cracking? In honor of our least sexiest men, I do have the red-headed stepchild brother.
Very, very classy.
I got Gamma Bomb from Dayton, Ohio.
From Jersey City.
Yeah, a little hazy little thing IPA.
And I'm on the men, guys. I'm drinking water.
Great. Let's crack them. No.
But to those just listening, he's chugging a bottle of vodka. So
it's true. Oh yeah, so good, guys. Well, now this is the problem though, because any other time I could blame the bullshit I say on here, well, I had a couple too many beers, maybe I overstepped them. Now it's people are gonna know.
Now you're gonna be
exactly.
Wow, this gets boring after 20 minutes.
I'll be I actually thought these guys were funny, but turns out beer was doing a lot of the work on that one, the heavy lifting.
What do you got?
Well, the red-headed stepchild tastes like red-headed stepchild. All right.
Here we go to that backup beer.
I'll finish. So our first topic of the evening, unfortunately, another episode, another grieving someone important in not only our circles and the whole industry as a whole, but it would be the only creator of Marvel Comics, Stan Lee. So I just want to go around and say our thoughts and prayers and remembrances.
Thoughts and prayers, Stan Lee, 95-year-old Stan Lee.
Well, at least someone went out in old age and not something tragic.
You can't I was saying that to somebody too. You can't be 95 years and a legacy that will live on likely forever, that will endure hundreds and hundreds and maybe till the sun blows up and we all die, and then aliens come and they look at they'll dig up my DVD bunker, which is the whole purpose of it, and they will look and they'll be like, wow, man, this Stan Lee guy sure was in a lot of these movies.
I mean, think about
it. They'd be like, who was that old guy in all those movies? It had to be.
Then they'll work backwards from that, because every movie that he has a cameo in also has a documentary on the Blu-ray about how he created the character.
Yeah, sure. It's just even him being 95, guys. It's more of just being sad about it. It's a huge loss in culture. He's an icon in everything that we have, but the celebratoriness of his life is pretty much what I want to say. Anything, you celebrate someone who's 95 years old as accessible and youthful as he was, someone who like that, a kid who was 4 to a guy who's 70 years old now, like he was all around to everybody. Like that, it was crazy.
Yeah, 100%. A couple years ago, he was scheduled to come to Columbus for Comic-Con, and I was going to go, and he pulled out at the last minute. I actually did end up going. I already had my tickets, and he pulled out. He had a health scare. I think he ended up getting a pacemaker put in or something that year. The next year, he came back. I bought my tickets. I went. I have the picture right here. So fuck off, Armie Hammer. Here's me with Stan Lee. And I'm not claiming that we had some big moment. I stood in line. I paid my ticket. I got the thing I had signed by him was a Marvel Series 1 trading card of him. I was always a bigger fan of the Series 2 trading cards because they had the power rankings on the back with the number that equated like how they all lined up. But Series 1 had a Stan Lee card. It said Mr. Marvel, and it's like his face, but he's got a little bit of a bunch of heroes. It's like part of the Fantastic Four and Spider-Man just kind of in the picture. It's real sweet. Check it out online. Look it up. Google it, guys.
Nice,
Kids out there, use the Googles. But anyway, got my picture with him. This shit and this picture here, these hang in my bedroom. You guys can't see them if you're listening on audio. There's a picture of Stan Lee, just a picture of just him, like a painting, an artist rendering, and then there's the picture of me and him in a shadow box with some tchotchkes from the Comic-Con. And these hang in my bedroom where I sleep. This is not like a thing I trotted out for this, and it's been in a box. And I just, not that he watches me and my wife. He watches my wife get disappointed. He watches a lot of things.
Oh, go give it there to her, Excelsior.
Oh, wait, true believer, you really gave it a good effort there. But anyway, this guy, I'm more sad about losing this guy than I will be when my own dad dies. Let's put it that way, okay? I'm not gonna lie. This man did a lot for my life, so I just,
Great. And even just with the characters he made.
So I didn't think it would, because especially at his age, I didn't think it would be like it would affect me the way it did, because he was 95. Like, I mean, we're lucky if we make it.
Right, you prepare for it. It's like with Betty White and Bob Barker. We're all hanging on it. We're all biting our nails on those ones.
Yeah, but I remember him as a name first, because my brother was kind of like Brian. He's actually, I think he's the same age as Brian. He's a big collector. He used to have like a lot of trading cards, a lot of basketball cards, and he also had a lot of comic books. And I started also collecting comic books. But I remember like watching his name, like seeing his name always in my favorite comic books. But as a kid, you don't understand that that's like the man behind the thing that you love. It's just a name on a page. So once the TV shows came out, like the X-Men and the Spider-Man, and I just kept hearing that name over and over, and I see it and I'm seeing it. So what I wanted to say is, like, he created like the modern fairy tales. Like, they are stories that are just examples for kids to follow. Like, they're like, they teach us how to see the world in a different light. And now in this culture, being a nerd is more accepted, even though it's a little bastardized. See Big Bang for an example. But back then, being a nerd was, you were an outlier. So Stan Lee created a bridge in where you can connect to people like, oh, you're also a fan of Spider-Man, or you also read this comic books, or you also played this video game. So he really created a world where people that didn't have friends or didn't have a way to connect with other people it was just easier to connect to them thanks to his work and to the work with him and Jack Kirby, obviously, and along with countless other artists. But
yeah. I wanted to say too, along with his creations, which, the list is as long as my fucking arm, of like not just the things he created, but classics. But also was like a real like voice and ambassador for comic books as a medium for years and years and years. Was one of the guys who went to the Supreme Court and talked about the effect of comics. Was the face of comic books like throughout the 70s and 80s, like before I was ever aware of him, but he was the voice on the Super,
and promoted diversity through the comics.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, yeah,
Which is
he's a
just so it's
pioneer.
like, not only did he create things for the medium, but he also like pushed the medium forward in other ways and like was out there and in the leading in the front of it. So there's a reason that he is the most synonymous name with comic books ever, you know.
Yeah.
Although some of my favorites are when you watch these like docs, and I don't even see that. I don't see this as a negative or whatnot. Are the stories people have of playing characters, and he always, every time, even if the movie was never good, it was like, "You're who I dreamed of this character. You're great," and then they'd be like, "Yeah," and then he never visited set again.
Like
he, like apparently he walked by the Fantastic Four set, that bad Fantastic Four in the 80s.
That's awesome.
And he walked by and it was all hyped, and then when he never appeared his face again. And I don't see that as a negative. I just see that as, oh, you did your lip service. Did that with Daredevil. And then I think it was Jesse Malton tweeted it. She was like, I was a kid and I sat next to this guy. I didn't know who he was, but he was cursing. He was just mumbling under his breath the whole time. Like, dude ruled.
Yeah.
That was my first introduction. And it's awesome that now there's like a whole universe of respectable and actually good films based on his work. So I'm happy that he was able to actually see his vision come to life, and maybe it even surpasses expectations, especially given the fact that he saw the 80s Captain America.
Yeah. Well, I tweeted one of my favorite stories, and I can't remember which of the countless Stan Lee documentaries that I've watched that I saw this on, but he talked about how when Batman was getting released in 1989, and it was like a huge phenomenon. Obviously, we all remember Tim Burton's Batman, or have read about it in history books, if for the kids out there. But Bob Kane like took him and their wives, and they went to the premiere, and it was kind of like there'd been a rivalry for years, and he was kind of rubbing Stan's face in it, because obviously there'd been ups and downs. The Incredible Hulk being probably the most successful thing that Stan Lee's had ever been produced, the TV show.
Yeah.
But they'd tried with Spider-Man, and they'd had a couple movies with Daredevil and Thor, and you know what I mean? They'd had those crossovers. Nothing but the Batman thing was out of control. And I remember Stan saying that he just like Bob Kane passed away just a year or two before Sam Raimi's Spider-Man came out, and he's like, so I never got my full retribution to show him how big Spider-Man was, and then to think how much farther they went with the MCU and how much bigger that even is than Spider-Man was, which Spider-Man was a full-on phenomenon in its own right. So very impressive. But I always thought that was funny. So I like to think that him and Bob Kane are having that chat now. He's like, nah, did you see it?
Well, Bob Kane's pretending to know about Batman, and the difference is Stan Lee's like, oh no, I know about my characters.
Yeah, and I think like also the best thing about him is obviously for the next few years through Phase 4 and stuff, we're gonna get more of his cameos and everything like that.
Right, we got at least three more cameos, I bet.
Really?
Even not,
yeah, they were pre-recording his cameos.
Yeah, and like not even in the good Marvel films. He's in the Amazing Spider-Man. He was
in Venom.
Yeah, like all those. But not even his cameos. The first time I ever came across seeing Stan Lee on film without reading his kid was Mallrats.
Yeah,
of
course.
One of the best things ever, which gives you all you need to know about Stan Lee, because he went in on that with Kevin Smith, this no name.
Well, he full on legitimized Kevin Smith's nerd cred, like just by showing up in the movie. Like he gave credence to him on that level. So that,
even that whole scene where Brody's going to his comic store and he had the line out front. He's like, "What? No one told me Stan Lee's gonna be here." And like even as a young kid, it doesn't click at first, and then it does when it's like Brody starts dropping all names. You're like, "Oh, the guy's name I always see." And then you finally see him, and he comes on screen. And you're like, geez, that guy has such swagger for probably what he was then.
He was probably in his late 70s by then already. Yeah. And he was pimp as hell in that movie. He's got the full beard. His hair is real thick still. He was balling super hard still in that one. And never without his aviators. Like you barely ever see Stan's real eyes.
All right, so here's to Stan.
Here's to Stan.
To Stan, absolutely.
Stan Lee.
Stan the man.
All right, so next on the docket, we have a swift shift.
Yeah, there's no segues.
There's no segues, I guess. So Yusuf, I'm sorry, no segues, right? So Brian, why don't you lead us talking about some toys?
Oh yeah, it was a bit of a current event question, a bit of just some random chatter about a topic. I think we're all fairly familiar with Pixar movies, but the Toy Story 4 teaser, a couple of teasers actually kind of came out, and I just wanted to get your guys' thoughts and see what you think about Pixar in general. And then I want to do a question at the end, so we can chat a bit, and then I'll ask it.
Okay.
Personally, I'll get right out in front of it. I've only ever really seen the Toy Story, the first one. Like, I think I might have seen parts of 2 and 3, but I've never really sat down to like ingest Toy Story 2 and 3 or like take it in as a trilogy. So I don't have the commitment to that. So with this fourth one, I don't have a strong feeling. One was I understand that from what I've heard, the trilogy is very good and had a very good ending, and this may not need another movie might trample on that, but I just don't have so somebody who's a little more committed to it, weigh in.
I'll go on this. So Toy Story exactly lines up with from the first one to the third one lines up. So this is completely biased. Lines up with my age and how like Andy grows up, right? So it really follows that. Like when I was graduating high school, the 3 came out and we were going to college. Like it literally like lines up that perfectly.
Are you
not even? I am not Andy. I'm Andy. It might be Andy Barkley.
He's too sexy.
But what?
Watch out for your buddy doll.
It's my Homer.
Your buddy.
I'd watch that.
What? But here's the Simpsons like that. Treehouse of Horror. But anyway, but at the minute they announced Toy Story 4. I was disinterested because it did end so well. It's a perfect wrap up. It's a thing. And I just thought, you do have these good characters and your shorts work, but why ruin that? And my whole thing, I wrote a Facebook post when they first announced it a couple of years ago, and people were like, huh? Out of your mind? Why isn't Pixar taking the time to create new characters and give these kids, like your son's age, their own Woody and Buzz, and not just revel in the past with some throwaway pop culture jokes that assumably 4 will be.
And not to be cynical, I think what they're doing is now that Disney has full control, they're forcing Pixar to churn out sequels, and they are using their animation house to do the best work that they've done since the Disney Renaissance. Zootopia, Coco, and Moana are some of the best Disney animated movies to come out in the last 20 years.
But they were already doing sequels before Disney took over, so I don't know.
No, that's true. But they've pumped out a lot more since Disney took over.
They have.
That's basically all they've been working on since Disney took over.
And I want to put a disclaimer on it. I'm sure the movie's going to come out, and I'm going to see it, and it'll be good, and that would be nice. I'm just like, why? Like,
that's my thing. Is like I like to think that they wouldn't come out with another one if they didn't have an idea. So that kind of gives me a little bit of
Well, I don't know. I don't know if they have because I like the first one. The first one is pretty solid, but my favorite is the second one. The second one is great, but the problem is that one would think that they're gonna wait for them to have like a story, like you said, Brian. But if you watch the third one is pretty much a rehash of the same plot points that the second one tackled. So they didn't really have that much story to tackle in the third one. They just pretty much did the same thing, but in a different setting with some different characters and some different outcomes. But it's pretty much the same plot points that the second one tackled. So I'm kind of worried that the fourth one is just going to be rehash of same things.
Well, I want to argue what Joe brought up, which is a great point. Why not Pixar make new characters for Brian's kids and whoever's kids? The whole thing is that the Toy Story holds up. Incredibles hold up. These Pixar movies hold up through time. From 95, the first one, you could pop it in now, and Brian's kids could fall in love with them. Why not have a fourth one with a new story, new character? And also, John Lasseter, I think, did all the originals, like the first 3 trilogy by himself. So I think the new one is that the new guy who did the Disney animation short for like them. So like, why not give him a shot with these characters that everyone knows? Throw in that new Forky guy. And
well, that's what I think. I think the Forky guy kind of intrigues me because if the idea of this movie is that they're going to get into like what constitutes a toy and what brings the toys to life, like what is it that gives them life? Is it like the power of imagination or something? Like Unless that's interesting to me. Like, so anything a kid plays with now becomes a toy.
Yeah,
so what is, you know what I mean? Like,
unless it's like a trailer for kids toy, like a really poor kid's fork, and you just feel bad for that kid. That would be don't do that.
That's like Spike's kid's toy because Spike is all like poor white trash.
You know, like Sean from Boy Meets World, his toys growing up in the trailer park.
I want to watch the white trash version of Toy Story.
I mean, we can watch Sid's.
No, we put some googly eyes on a potato sack. That's my toy.
It worked in the first one, right? The guy who wrote it, and the guy who directed the first one's writing this. That's all I'm saying. Like, I think
it's gonna be fine.
My thing was, I wasn't a huge fan of the second one until I rewatched it recently. I actually thought the second one's the weakest one out of the three.
It's more mature.
The second one's the best. Like the third one has the same thing that the bad guy appears to be a good guy in the beginning, and then welcomes him into the world, and then he's the bad guy. Buzz Lightyear turns into Buzz Lightyear, and then reverts back to the good guy Buzz Lightyear.
It also has Wayne Knight in it, so
gotta give it extra Wayne Knight points.
You know,
I like the third. I'm not saying it's not a bad trilogy. It just seems like a cash grab.
It's not a trilogy anymore, baby.
This is more I'll say this. This is more deserve it and necessary than some dumbass thing like Space Jam 2 coming out. Right.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm more excited about Pikachu.
Oh, Pikachu.
Detective Pikachu.
Right? I had to watch that twice.
I'm not like a huge Pokemon guy. I watched a little of it. I was just aging out of it. You know what I mean? Like when it was getting to American TV. So I watched a little bit of it. I did play Pokemon Stadium on the N64. But I'll tell you what, that trailer got me, man. I was like, okay, all right.
Yeah, I found
a way into this world.
I played almost all the games and I watched all the series. And like I'm way too old to be this excited about Pokemon, but I'm so pumped for that game, that movie.
I hope it.
And Joe too, because you have the N64, Joe. I've seen it, and I went through some of your games. The one game I didn't see, and Yusef, let me know if you like this. Brian, you were definitely a little bit too old for this. Pokemon Snap.
Yeah, I had Pokemon Snap in that thing.
That game sucked.
Yeah. Okay, well I thought great. Yeah,
let's just look at Pokemon. Right?
Is seeing those original
kind of hard.
That's what I'm saying. Is they're seeing the original like 151, and even the animation style you think would be jarring. It wasn't at all. Something about it was like great.
Yeah,
it fits its world.
I like seeing the integrated world. Made me feel like I was watching like Roger Rabbit or something. Like the way they just kind of blended in.
Perfect. It looks like it took the from the trailer we got. It looks like this thing that a lot of these fucking movies have forgot about is it feels like a movie.
Yeah.
It didn't need to be like, let's give it as lifelike as it can. It was like, no, these characters are living in a movie and in each other, and we're just asking you to believe. In the trailer, I believe that was the world, and it's hysterical. Like a perfect setup. I hope it leads to a segue to like real Pokemon movies. Like I'm not even a big Pokemon fan, but like if it just gives you a segue to like a good story down the road, awesome.
I'm telling you, this is going to lead to the original like Ash storyline. You're going to get a whole bunch of different Pokemon movies, and you can do the Ash storyline. Now, tell me if I'm wrong. Do you think Ready Player One would have benefited from having more of an animation like this, to where it felt more?
For sure.
Yes.
Yeah,
for sure.
And
also Ready Player One would have benefited from, and I'm going to use one of our favorite characters on this show, Chucky, right? It would have benefited from just using Chucky.
Oh, they used him horribly.
Do you know what I'm saying? And not like this bad CG character. It would have been benefited from using from Freddy.
Can I?
This bad CG character. Ready Player One was trash, and I know some people listening like Ready Player One, but you're wrong.
Yeah, you probably voted for Joe. So can I?
Not anymore.
Yeah. Can I complain about something like?
Yeah, but wrap it up, Yusef. I want to get back to the Pixar thing.
Oh, all right. No, go ahead. Go to Pixar. I was just gonna rant.
Okay. Well, I don't want to. You get on one of your rants. We'll be here all day.
Yeah.
Let's finish up this topic with a quick question. I don't want to hear
Sexy
your favorite
monologues.
Pixar movies. I want to hear most overrated Pixar and most underrated Pixar. So I don't care about your favorites, but like judging on how other people talk about them, and I'll go first to give you guys a little bit of time to think. For underrated, I'm going to go with WALL-E. I think that's a fucking fantastic movie. The first half of it plays out like a silent film. It's like very poignant and there's a lot of emotion in it, and not in the kind of like baiting, sappy kind of like way of my overrated one, which I'm going to say Up is the most overrated of the Pixar movies. Up is 10 minutes. There's a great 10 minutes of Up right there at the beginning, and that tricks you into thinking the rest of the movie is any good. It's not. It's boring, and it's just no likable characters and whatever. You're just like, I don't give a shit about this. The reason you showed me that first 10 minutes is because you knew this old man sucked so bad. You had to give me something that would keep me like caring about him for some reason. So no, I'm just not into that one. I mean, okay, go ahead, Joe.
Sorry. So you did pick my two. I'm still gonna go. I'm gonna go with Up for the overrated because you hit all my points. I despise the Cars movies, so I don't even want to call them overrated. Underrated though, I love Ratatouille.
I love Ratatouille.
Ratatouille.
My wife really likes that one. I don't really remember seeing it that much though.
Ratatouille is a movie that makes me want to like eat food, but like just I don't know. It's a movie that's really corny. It feels like love, like it has that. It feels nice, and I feel like it's gotten lost.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah. I would say it's one of the more niche,
Yeah.
I think it falls with WALL-E, and I think it falls with WALL-E, and it's because it hasn't had a sequel. Like,
man.
We all know what TJ is gonna pick, right?
No, wait. Let me go before you even do it. Let me do it. Damn you! Overrated. Now I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this one because it's absolutely overrated. You've seen it in every six Brady Bunch. You've seen this family. The Incredibles is overrated. It's not.
Get off my fucking show, man! Get the fuck out of here.
Movie at all. All the plot lines and all these stories you've seen, Leave It to Beaver, anything like that, they just add superpowers. All right, there are in Married with Children. They could literally be the Incredibles. You just add the
what's wrong with that?
I'm just saying though. That's what makes it interesting.
Don't you discoach like that?
You've seen it a million times.
We're not gonna fight. Let him be wrong. He's the ugliest person here.
Any movie that employs Wallace Shawn,
he is ugly.
good.
I take back the nice things I
He's the ugliest person here.
Let him ugliest person in the room. And that's ugly on the inside as he is on the
TJ.
outside. He's disgusting.
This is the perfect
This is
goddamn
TJ.
segue into my most underrated film because this movie needs a little bit more love because you know what? There's redheads involved in the entire thing. And you know what that is? Brave gets no love.
Shocking.
Zero love. And Brave
Shocking. Are you
all the
wrong?
So do
No,
me a
it's
favor.
not. It's a really nice movie.
It's my second favorite Disney movie where people turn into bears.
It's
Thank
a good
you.
movie. It's a good movie.
Everyone go to Alexander
funny you
Hale's
picked it.
Twitter. Vote for TJ as the most sexiest member of Flyover State of Film. Us redheads will take over the world, and we're going to do it first with Brave.
So my underrated is Coco, even though it's super loved. I think it's gonna be
Coco.
it's gonna be just gonna fall by the wayside, and it's a beautiful film about family and how we keep
I cry at the end of Coco every single time.
Yeah,
man.
how we keep people alive just in memory. So it's just beautiful.
Stanley.
And you know what's overrated? People saying that Pikachu is Deadpool. So I guess every fucking movie now that stars Ryan Reynolds is gonna be Deadpool. So the proposal is Deadpool marrying Sandra Bullock and for her Canadian citizenship.
I love that movie.
Fucking definitely maybe it's just Deadpool telling a story to his daughter about how he met his mother. Like every fucking movie about Ryan Reynolds is gonna be Deadpool now. Stupid.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. That's a bad take. That's fine.
I like Coco though.
But Coco's good.
Yeah.
Do you have an overrated?
I fucking hate Inside Out. That movie sucks.
Ooh, damn.
It's so bad.
Just
so
mic drop
bad.
it. Savage.
Yeah, that's a take.
That's a hot take because I think I don't think Inside Out's as good as everybody said it was, but I do think it's pretty good.
No, horrible. Go ahead. Let's go to the next topic before.
All right.
Cancel.
Like, don't hang on these bad takes. There's so many bad takes in here.
Well, since we're going to be remaking these bad takes next, Yusuf.
That's a segue and a half right there. You have to drop a dime in your computer for a segue that good. Find a slot, stick a dime in it.
So I was this topic is half inspired by the news of the Shrek remake that came out, and half because I was watching the remake from Fede Alvarez, Evil Dead, which is pretty solid. So I just wanted to ask,
very solid, actually.
Yeah, I just wanted. Yeah, it's very good. I wanted to ask the group, like, what are? Wait, let me add to the caveat to, like, generally we tend to hate on remakes with good reason. Most remakes suck, or most remakes are just a cash grab based on IP and fandom. So I wanted to, like, flip the switch on it and just talk, like, good remakes that you actually are happy that they remade it and it's one of your favorite movies. Go ahead, Brian.
Well, just on top of that, before I even mention any names, I wanted to say that I've kind of turned the corner on remakes a while back too. I used to be a hater, and all that. And then I got it doesn't do any good. They're going to make them. It's going to happen. And it's just better to, like, let them come out. If they're any good, you got another good movie to watch. And if they suck, they get forgotten immediately. Nobody cares. And you still have your original movie that everybody loves.
Yes. Can I add to what you just said?
No, go ahead.
The hot take of you ruined my childhood, or you ruined the other movie, is like the dumbest thing.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Say.
Like somebody came and smashed my copy of Ghostbusters because the new one came out. Right? That's so. I hate that shit.
All right, go ahead.
Appreciate that. I like that.
I do get annoyed with the remake conversation a bit when people get into, like, the semantics of a remake.
Yeah.
Like, what's a remake? What's a reboot? What's a reboot?
Actually, that's a great point.
That's what you did. Ghostbusters reminded me of that. I'm like, no, that was a remake.
That's a great point, Joe. That's a great point, Joe, because Suspiria came out and is like the most different movie in the world compared to the original. So people are arguing, is it actually a remake, or is it a reboot, or is it a retelling? I'm like, fuck it, dude. It's Suspiria 2018. Just watch it. Just have fun.
It's just its own thing. It's just a different, new movie that came out.
You look at
it. Yeah.
Sorry. So some good ones that I want to. One that obviously the whole trilogy is fucking phenomenal. The new Planet of the Apes movies are just incredible. I mean, some of the best sci-fi storytelling that's been done.
Actually,
some people, I mean, you can say that they're connected to the originals. They kind of only touch on that in the first one. They don't get much into it in Dawn and War. So it's loose. It could be a reboot, it could be a prequel. But either way, they clearly did something completely different with the series. And even if it is somehow connected, they changed the way the whole thing happens. I mean, from the history of the original 5 movies. So as far as I'm concerned, that's a really good one. A remake that, we talked about ones that are completely different or ones that are kind of hold close to their original source material. I think Let Me In, the American remake of Let the Right One In, is really fucking good. I do think the original is good too, but I think that remake is incredible. It's so
Brian,
good.
You're so sexy right now with your choices.
Well, I'm a Matt Reeves head, I guess, now is what I'm saying, right? Like, he did all those, and then him.
Yeah, that's true. Can I add something to the prequels of Planet of the Apes? It made me like the movie. It adds if it's connected to the originals, because the ending of the last one. Spoilers for anybody that hasn't watched it yet. But the ending of the last one, it's even sadder if it's connected to the originals, because Caesar literally gave his life for the monkey race or the ape race, so they can be better than the humans, yet they end up being equally or worse than the humans. So it's even sadder if it's connected to the originals. So that's
right. There's definitely ways to. Now, everybody liked my first two choices, so let me come in hot with a real bad take that everybody's gonna hate. But this is something I've been on the record for a long time.
RoboCop sucks.
Blair Witch 2016 is a good reboot quote also.
I thought you were gonna go worse.
Yeah. Well, I already did a whole episode. Go watch the DVD bunker of RoboCop 2014.
Guys, we get it. Go on the DVD bunker.
Yeah, we get it. You're not gonna podcast.
But seriously, Blair Witch 2016, very underrated. An interesting connector, an interesting follow-up. I'm not saying it's perfect. I'm not gonna stand here and be like that's the best horror movie of the year, but I think a lot of people didn't even give it a chance. They maybe should.
No, it's a rehash of the original, just louder.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
What's up with you, Joe?
What's up with you, man? Mine would be I famously do love this movie, Scarface.
Nice.
It's a good remake, and I'm for the record, I'm trying to stay away from the horror remake of this for this conversation because I could say we talked last.
We talked a lot of horror remakes in our franchise episode. Go check those out.
And like Dawn of the Dead, too. I absolutely love. So right now I want to rattle off.
And you love a lot of Nightmare on Elm Street. Go ahead, Jeff. Sorry.
Yes. So Nightmare on Elm Street, you just get Fred. No. So Scarface, yes, the movie's over the top. It's campy, but it's it's what a remake should do, and why they would be able to do another Scarface is you take the concept and the ideas and you put it in a brand new setting. So the original Scarface from the 40s, 50s was all about bootlegging. It was all about prohibition. The new one was about cocaine. And it's just I don't know. It's a fun movie.
Can I add a note to it? That was the first time I saw Al Pacino, and as a kid, you don't notice a horrible Cuban accent, and I thought he was Latino. So when I came of age, that was a very disappointing realization when I noticed oh no. But
you thought he was doing Italian face in The Godfather. You were like, wow, that's really affected a good Italian accent there.
But yeah, it's a great remake.
Fucking cockroach.
Oh, it's so bad.
Fucking cockroach.
I know, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
No, I agree. It's a good remake.
Another one. Actually, I'll do the two Scorsese ones. The Departed. That's a good movie. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, I like it.
And Cape Fear, which also falls in the line of the Scarface.
I need to rewatch Cape Fear. I haven't seen Cape Fear in a long time. I would like to go back to it.
I think it's a really good thriller. I see Yusuf shaking his head. I enjoy Cape Fear.
We bring up this topic Yusuf brought up this topic and he told everybody to talk about remakes they like, and then he just shits on the ones that you talk about.
I'm quiet.
What do you have to say?
That sucks.
What do you have to say about Cape Fear?
Hey, everybody, let's be positive.
I didn't interrupt. I was like letting Joe shine.
You interrupted me, you motherfucker. You jumped down my throat.
I'm letting the sexy guy shine.
Cape Fear comes from the classic the Scorsese model of I do one for the studio and you let me do one, and that was the one for the studio. But it's still a fine remake.
But he still puts his full Scorsese into it, which is fine. That's cool.
Also, it has to be said, remakes, guys, have been happening since film has started. I mean, The Wizard of Oz is a remake. Mm-hmm. So always got to get that point out there. Yeah. You might not have seen the ones before.
Well, that's another reason that I also think that remakes are okay. Like, I recently just watched the remake of Murder on the Orient Express. Totally fine. Yeah. Kenneth Branagh movie, a good cast, good performances. Johnny Depp even had a line I liked in it. And it's like, if you've never seen, people are like, oh, blue, the original, blah, blah, blah. But man, I've never seen the original. I have no connection to the book. I have no connection to the original movie. So what's wrong with me just going in and watching this version? You know what I mean?
Yeah, Brian,
just go enjoy what's for you.
They're next to each other on the queue. when you go on the streaming services. Same with Magnificent Seven. Like I know, like
I like Magnificent Seven remake. That's a lot of fun. That's a fun ass western.
Yeah.
That's
It's a
perfectly
fine modern
fine.
western.
Yeah.
If you like a movie with a lot of fucking shooting in it, there you go. You like a lot of guns.
Well, if you guys have
Enjoy.
that, guess what? Wait until we talk later on.
Oh, fuck you.
Don't try to tease that.
TJ, I'm gonna close out. So TJ, you go ahead.
So I'm gonna break the rules. 2 of these, 3 of these on the. I haven't talked about these yet, but one of these I saw back in the day, like 2007. Back in the day, which is a shot-for-shot remake of a French horror thriller film, starring Michael Pitt and Tim Roth. Funny Games. Anyone has shot?
That's amazing. I love that fucking.
Such a good, amazing, heart-wrenching thriller. Get a shot. Check that out, guys.
You know why? You know why it's
Jane
awesome.
Mangle.
You know why it's awesome? It's the same director. He did both.
Really?
Yes.
Didn't know that.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I do like.
love that.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
No, go.
Go ahead, Joe.
You're saying it's the same director. I always think the
Which
Ring
you don't
should
really
get a shout out.
Yeah.
Ooh, you know what? I
bit.
just recently rewatched The Ring. I was not impressed. I was like, this is a very boring movie with not a lot happening. Yeah. I hadn't seen it in a long time, and I finally sat down with my son's been begging me to watch scary things, so I'm trying to like ease into it. So I was like, we'll start with The Ring. It's like a ghost story. I know nothing too horrible happens, but it turns out nothing happens at all. It's just a fucking lot of Naomi Watts investigating, and it's just really, really slow and not particularly scary. So it's
has to do.
I actually prefer The Grudge. If I had to pick out of the two, I prefer The Grudge.
For not so horror remake, 310 to Yuma with Russell Crowe, Ben Foster.
Absolutely,
such a great
good call,
remake.
good pick.
That one. Obviously, The Mummy, which is a little different than the original, but they obviously
the Tom Cruise one.
Yeah. So that scream and that plane, beautiful. And then when I go back to horror, the 80s Blob for me was like one of the first horror movies
I saw. The 80s Blob is awesome. Some amazing practical effects in that movie.
Yeah. Do you want to go to Blobfest? We're close.
There's a Blobfest?
Yeah, the town. It's in Phoenixville, Pennsylvania. My friend, we go there all the time to the bars in the area, and the movie theater's right across the street from the bars, and they have a Blobfest.
That's awesome.
And then for the last one that hasn't come out yet, but I'm psyched for is the new Pet Sematary remake. I think the retelling of that and actually following the story, I want to see it. Yusuf's doing the thing where he's shitting on my thing when no one's watching, but if you're listening, he's shitting right now.
Can I propose a question?
It.
You bring up the Pet Sematary remake. Now, you're one of your favorites, TJ, which is It. That is one that I will defend to the death that is not a remake because the original was a TV miniseries. And
we already shitted on people saying semantics, yeah.
Yeah, I know I was saying semantics, but that's like.
I really want to hear what Yusef's picks are.
Yeah, what are your picks, Yusef? I'm sorry.
Actually,
I'm an awful host.
Oh, Joe, go ahead. You finish your thought.
No, my thought is I'm an awful host and the sexiest man alive, so I need to hear your picks.
Yeah, you need to hear the real sexy here. Actually, Mikhail Haneke, I think his name is pronounced, is the director of Funny Games. He did Piano Teacher and I'm blanking on the name. Amor, that was the one that blew him up in the mainstream. But he's a fantastic director. I think he's like the best director working today that nobody knows of. All right, so my picks in terms of remakes, I went a little off the beaten path because I thought you guys would take my the ones that I thought bought it first.
Because we're so pedestrian and mainstream. Oh, jeez. Here come the hipster picks, guys. Look out, everybody get your fucking monocles on. Here they come.
So that's what I'm trying to say. I'm gonna be mainstream and pedestrian like you guys. So I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I actually I wanted to be like something that nobody would expect that I like, which is Cinderella, the first live remake. Yes,
fucking great movie.
Thank you.
The live action Pete's Dragon's good too. Everybody just
yes, that too actually. So Cinderella was like the first, like it was like the beta test to see if people actually wanted to see the same movie but with real life people.
Because that's even before Maleficent too, right?
Yeah,
that's
I think
also,
so.
Kenneth Branagh.
And and it's great.
Great director.
It gave us Lily James, which is a beautiful actress that is wonderful charisma in front of the screen. And it also has Cate Blanchett as the evil stepmother, which I mean that movie is great. I actually really love that movie.
I watched that on we'll rewatch it later, but when I first saw it, I saw it on a plane, and my now fiance looked over at me and was like, "What are you really? You watching that?" I'm like, "It's good." I'm like, "I need to finish because I do not want peanuts."
Yeah, it's good. I recommend it to anybody that has ignored it so far. The other one, actually, sorry, the other one that I wanted to jump on the bandwagon that you said, or TJ said, I can't remember, sorry, right now. Whoever said the seven Magnificent Seven. I actually love True Grit. From the Coen Brothers.
Oh yeah, the Coen Brothers True Grit is better than the original True Grit. I'll flat out say that. That's easy for me.
The original one's a pulp film.
Yeah, the original one is
John Wayne's a shit ass actor anyway. So
whoa,
I got nothing for John Wayne.
Yeah,
John Wayne.
Jeff Daniels and Matt Damon and the girl from 17 again, or Edge of 17, I think it's called. It's Haley Steinfeld.
Oh, Haley Steinfeld, yeah.
That movie is actually a lot of fun and great. The other one is Ocean's 11. I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun. The first
That's
one
another
is
one where I liked the first one but never watched any of the other ones.
Yeah, the other one's
although I am going to watch Ocean's 8. That's on my list.
I think the Oceans fall into the same thing we kind of just said as the True Grit. Those were those like pop Sinatra films that they just pump out, and
the original Ocean's 11 it's shit. It's real, also, I mean it makes the original True Grit look good.
I want sorry, TJ.
Who is more of a Rooster Cogburn? God help me out here.
Jeff Bridges
or Bridges?
Bridges, of course.
Yeah.
He plays a way better drunk and a way better, kind of sloppy, but he also is like just a really good actor, so he conveys so much emotion.
Yeah, and he has that voice that's so perfect for him.
He's got like the perfect dead eye where he looks at you and literally looks through you, so you know that it's so good.
So three quick hits since we said no horror, but it's my topic, so fuck you. The Thing, The Fly, and Invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Thank goodness somebody said The Thing. I thought we were going to lose our fucking movie nerd credentials. Nobody mentioned The Thing.
The Thing early on. I said The Thing early on. I said I was skipping it because we talked it last week.
No, that's why.
But The Fly is a good one. Yeah, good on The Fly. Good call.
And whoever hasn't watched Invasion of the Body Snatchers, I know I also said watch Haneke and the Funny Games, but watch Invasion of the Body Snatchers first.
I have not, so I'll check
that fucking movie is great. It's disturbing. It has great body horror. It has great special effects. It has great acting, and the ending is disturbing as fuck. So go watch that movie.
Oh, another one I just thought of too, Red Dragon. Red Dragon's an excellent remake, and Manhunter's an excellent movie too.
So awesome.
I just watched that.
You can watch both of those movies, and they're both fucking great.
Them.
So, and you get to see Brian Cox's Hannibal Lecter, which is awesome.
Yes, with the telephone.
I want to throw this one out there to you guys. Even though it's not by name a remake, it's a remake. Disturbia. Rear Window.
I do like that.
Oh, yeah,
that's a solid movie.
I don't hate it.
I actually think Rear Window's a little overrated, so
Yeah, but you hate it.
Well, it has its problems.
But for me,
actually, let's close out with a movie that you really don't want to see remade.
Okay.
Just one movie, and then we'll go into Joe's.
This wasn't really a remake, but recently Richard Dreyfuss said that he'd like to see him like take Jaws and put a digital Jaws in over the fake over Bruce. And I think that's a really horrible idea. Like, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't put digital Bruce over real Bruce. Just leave it alone. Leave art alone, please.
I think the positive there is Spielberg learned his lesson with the E.T. tinkering.
Right. Well, like I said, it was Dreyfuss. It's not like Steven Spielberg came out and said, "I think this is a good idea too." It's like, it was just the ramblings of an old man.
So we might be safe there.
I got something that falls along the line of like, they remade it already, and then now they're even trying to dive into the I call it like the Hollywood Joker thing of it, where they want the origin. Stop doing Willy Wonka. It was capture in time. It was a capsule. It's perfect. There's no way to go back to it and do the whole thing again. So now they're doing the origin. They already remade it. One of those things where it's like, just leave it as it was. It's a perfect 80s film. Like, they're talking about remaking Neverending Story. I guess you could probably steal from that universe and make things that would reach Brian's kids now, or future kids.
Why are we so worried about Brian's kids? What happened with Brian's kids?
Because no one else in the
nobody's parenting them.
Yeah. So that's the only reflection I have of that. So I'm saying, like, those type of remakes of like when we were kids, those perfect time capsule movies that as of right now you can't really do anything with. I know they want to do it, but I don't want to see Neverending Story remake. I guess you could.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna jump on your sentiment, and I say, don't ever touch Back to the Future. Yes. Those are two time capsules of the 80s and
and having just watched Back to the Future with an 8-year-old, it 100% holds up. You don't need to remake it because an 8-year-old can still enjoy Back to the Future as is. Like,
it's a perfect movie. Like,
kids love date rape, guys. They love to watch movies where potential date rape almost
incest and incest.
Right, and it jokes about incest and
it's perfect. And fathers that started out as stalkers. So the beginning of that movie sets up perfectly the end of the movie. Like, the script is perfect, so don't touch that. So Joe, what's your don't touch movie?
There's so many, but I'll go with Die Hard.
Oh yeah, it's been remade.
But no, Die Hard by name, John McClane, calling it Die Hard and doing it, trying to do it and adding more of the background ticks or whatnot, but keeping that same. Don't remake it. You know someone's thinking it.
Yeah.
Now
it's a perfect movie.
Who is thinking? Now I know this is the joke of the film that just came out 2 years ago, last year, Skyscraper. Who there are.
It was. I think it was actually.
Just watch Skyscraper, TJ. It is not a Die Hard remake.
Okay.
It has a lot of references.
How many producers sitting in a room saying, you know what, The Rock could be John McClane? Probably a lot. Now, how fast do you think Die Hard, about all these films, would be remade? Probably first, I think.
You know what's my biggest issue?
Don't get me wrong, it would be.
You know what's my biggest issue with my biggest issue with The Rock is that nobody actually reacts to The Rock how they would react in real life. If I saw The Rock, I would be like, this is not a human being. Like, what the
they kind of do a little bit in Jumanji, I think. Like, that's the one movie recently. Or not Jumanji, I'm thinking Rampage. In Rampage, he's like a real person in the real world, but people do just kind of be like, oh, like all the women are just like flooding every time they walk in. They're just like they're throwing themselves at him, and I think that's realistic. I think that
can I take back my answer?
Go ahead.
You're winning the poll.
Con Air.
You're so sexy about it.
Never remake Con Air, Face Off, or both. Yeah, just the same movie. Never remake either one of those.
Fair. That's fair enough.
Hard line.
Who's gonna argue with
yes,
that one?
You're right. The Rock in Hollywood has the Arnold Schwarzenegger problem back in his heyday. It's not referenced of his stature.
Yeah.
Having said that, I want to see your stature in honor of Stan Lee. If we can guess, we're going to play a little game called Guess That Marvel Character. Doesn't have to be MCU specific, but based off of my mom's descriptions.
I love this game.
So
So we're doing a write down thing here?
Yeah, so how it's going to work, you're going to write your answer down. We're going to show it. Whoever nets the most at the end. It's only 8 questions.
Can I get a sexy vote if I win?
You get, yes. We'll create a Twitter account just to vote for you.
Just like you did to get the lead.
You're absolutely right.
Sounds familiar.
So. All right, everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right. Oh, Phoebe's boyfriend? Oh, that's Phoebe's boyfriend? Oh my god, I love him.
Ooh, got this.
I got it.
All right.
Can I get a repeat?
Yes. Oh, Phoebe's boyfriend?
Fuck, I'm blanking.
And I want the character, not so much the actor. That.
I don't
have it.
Okay. All right. Brian, who do you have?
I have Ant-Man. Can you see
Yes.
my
Oh,
Ant-Man?
I had it. It was solid face, Paul Rudd. Damn it.
Okay. TJ, what do you got? Ant-Man?
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. That's fine.
It says Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. I got you. Ant-Man.
Little
Little
hyphen.
Ant-Man.
Well, no, I drew an ant.
I kept seeing Paul Rudd's face, and I couldn't put him in a fucking costume.
Okay. Oh, she dates the SNL. I like them together.
Wait, so is your mom from like?
I don't know.
Is your mom Michael Myers? That
Coffee talk.
yeah.
My mom talks nothing like that. By the
Oh,
way.
I was just wondering. Can you repeat that, please, sir?
Yeah.
Hey,
Oh,
wait. This is superheroes, right?
Yeah, they're all Marvel superheroes.
Superheroes. No villains,
Oh.
no side characters.
No.
Okay.
Well, you'll see. Oh, she dates the SNL. I like that. I like them together.
He dates the SNL. Fuck you. What?
I'm gonna give a count. 1, 2.
Give me
3.
5 more seconds.
All right.
Dates the SNL. Dates the SNL. She dates the SNL. She dates.
She.
She dates the SNL.
He dates the SNL.
She.
You know, like moms talk.
Yeah, you know your mom's talk.
This is really great radio.
She dates the SNL.
Okay, so Brian, what do you got?
Black Widow.
You are correct.
Me too. Black Widow.
Black Widow. What do you got, TJ?
Ariana Grande.
She's a superhero of her own.
No,
It's a
Cat, get back.
Back cat. You're being
Okay.
honest.
Okay. Oh,
So
that's
it-
that's John Travolta's friend from that Shoot 'Em Up movie.
Okay. I got it.
I got you. You got it.
I got it. I like how your mom talks.
My mom.
She talks like that. Just let it go.
She,
Oh, I do. I
you can
love
tell
it.
that you can tell by that impression that Joe's mom's never gonna listen to this.
Who do you think voted for him in the goddamn polls?
Mom, I need you to set up a Twitter account. What's the Twitters? I don't have a. Is that where the president's talking? I needed to be on there anyway.
Yeah, if I tell that to my mom, she's like,
My
Pero
mom's
me-
my
pero me
my
van a
Joe's mom is
volver
much
a
more Adam
entrar.
Sandler.
Hey, Joe.
All
who's-
right. John Travolta's friend from that Shoot 'Em Up movie.
From
Come
the
on,
Shoot 'Em Up
35
movie.
seconds. If I'm gonna do a mom impression, I have to do it in Spanish. That's the only way I can do it.
Well, we have a
Like I said, I think I go
multilingual podcast.
full Adam Sandler and that.
You do.
You know, oh, what are you doing there with your You gonna take your cock and balls out? You gonna yank them around a little bit?
Oh, listen to the special.
All right. Brian, what do you have?
Nick Fury.
Yeah, yes. Nick Fury.
What do you got, Yusuf?
Nick Fury.
What do you got, TJ?
Nick Fury.
All right.
I didn't write it after I heard the answer, I swear.
Sure. Well, I saw you writing.
All right, so Brian is in the lead.
Yeah.
And Yusuf and TJ are tied. Okay. Next question. Oh, Alias's husband. I don't like him very much.
Now, to be fair, on the last question, what happens was I wrote the N because I was going to write Nightcrawler, and then someone said Nick, and I just wrote Nick Bundy.
All right, got it. Everybody got it?
Fury.
Yeah, I got it.
All right.
Yeah, I have it too, and I stopped writing.
All right, what do you got? What do you got, Brian?
Daredevil. That's the Ben Affleck.
Ben
what do you
Affleck.
got? You all got Ben Affleck, the Daredevil?
Oh, yeah.
Awesome.
All right. 3 points.
All right. Brian's still in the lead. Oh, the gay one. Oh, is that the gay one with the claws?
What? That's a trick question.
Think about how a mother would talk.
My mom, the only thing she says wrong, she goes Pokemon instead of Pokemon. It's Pokemon. You want them Pokemon cards? Like that.
My mom is perfect, so she doesn't say anything.
Step down off the pedestal, all right, bud?
Ese es problema de la muchachita.
All right, Brian, what do you got?
Logan.
Wait.
Yep.
Wait,
Wolverine.
Yep.
I thought it was a trick question.
Because Hugh Jackman is gay as fuck.
Because Hugh Jackman is super gay, you guys. And it's fine. Just be gay, Hugh Jackman. It's cool, man. It's fine. YouTube, John Travolta, Tom Cruise, all of you guys just be gay. We're totally cool with it.
I'm cool with it.
It's all fine, but that's definitely how mom would describe Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
Where's the evidence? Give me the evidence.
All right, TJ lost. Go ahead.
All right, TJ. This is not he's not on trial here. All right.
No, we're saying it's a good thing.
It's a good
we
thing.
like
I
it.
like Hugh Jackman.
I like gay Hugh Jackman, okay?
Go see The Greatest Showman and you'll know what she's talking about.
Not less.
All right, next one.
Rob.
That one who's real political on the social medias, but he's still dreamy.
Yeah, if he was in the fucking poll, he'd beat Joe because he sucks. Joe sucks, not this guy. This guy's a fucking hero.
All right, let me know when you're ready.
Joe sucks.
I actually think there's multiple answers for this one.
There is multiple answers.
Or you can
one of
write
these guys not run the social media.
But I'm going with one because it's your mom, and I think she would have mentioned something about the other guy.
All right, pens down.
I'm just scratching out Logan from above mine. I'm not writing anything.
All right, Brian, you know you lead, so
Captain America. Is
You're
that
right.
Chris Evans? Have you seen those
Is that Chris
biceps? My
Evans?
God. Where's his men's health cover? Are you kidding me?
what
I
you
said
got?
Hulk. I said Hulk.
You said Hulk?
Yeah.
Could have been, but no.
Ruffalo. I also could have been Don Cheadle.
No.
I
What'd you
said
got?
Ariana Grande. No,
Again?
it's Captain America, but also
Absolutely.
he's
Captain
also
America
known
is
as-
not that active. Mark Ruffalo is super active. Tell your mom she's wrong.
And which ones
Well,
have
but
sex
moms
before?
do get things wrong, to be fair.
She is wrong.
Hey, she's a nice.
You got to get into the mind of a mom, Yusuf, and not
All right.
know all the things.
If you've
All
never
right.
been
I
inside
lost.
another person, I don't want to hear about your political views.
I
All
lost.
right. Oh, he was in that horse movie. I really like, that one with the horse.
Bang.
You know him.
The worst character on film playing this character. Heard that.
What the fuck? Horse movie?
I got this all day, boys. I'm gonna put it up there for you guys to see it. No, I'm not gonna.
I already know it. I got it too. I mean,
Wait, no, I'm stalling here. Horse movie.
Just think of the worst.
Don't pretend like you never saw Hidalgo.
I mean, I thought I was in the mindset of Joe's mom, and then this Mark Ruffalo thing just threw me the fuck off, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm calling it 1.
Think of a 40-year-old playing this character.
3.
Can I repeat this? Can I repeat?
Yeah. You get a repeat.
Hashtag respect the game.
Oh, he was in that horse movie. I really like that. You know, the one with the horse. You know him.
I got it.
Okay. Brian, who you got?
It's fucking Tobey Maguire Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man.
I totally gave it to Yusuf with that 40-year-old playing the same character.
Y'all got it. I feel like Yusuf shouldn't have got it, but
I got it.
that's fine. All right.
You gotta repeat, man. You gotta play the game. Respect the game.
Okay. All right.
Hashtag respect the game.
Didn't he just get arrested and kicked off that show, you know, not too long ago? They put him in movies?
I hope it's not Anthony Mackie, because that'd be very racial.
That's how I knew he wasn't talking about Don Cheadle, because a mom would have mentioned that he was black.
Oh, you know, the one from the African movie. I don't know.
Oh, Jesus. They're not Martin Freeman.
All right, Brian.
Watching Black Panther the other day, it just cracks me up how much Martin Freeman kind of sticks out in that movie. I'm like, every time he's on screen, I'm like, what the fuck are you even doing here?
I love that they call it
I
out.
love Martin Freeman and everything. Like,
I love that they call it out, though.
Is he like the fake car or whatever the fuck?
Having him be part of the battle scene or whatever at the end is kind of dumb, but it's fine. It's fine. Answer's Iron Man.
Yes.
Yeah, Iron Man.
Wait, wasn't he arrested like 20 fucking years ago? You said
he's a mom.
That's what moms are talking about. Moms don't know.
Who'd you put down, TJ?
I wrote nothing because your mom's full of shit right now.
Yes, because I called my mom and asked her to write me up a bunch of questions.
There's two things right now.
You know why Brian won? Because he's old like your mom.
All right, well, you got one more question.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
you got one more question.
One more, sorry.
No, but Brian already won.
No, I added one more.
You got one more.
Yeah.
For your mama. Do it.
This one's worth. This one's worth 2 points. So
this one's worth 2 points. Okay. Oh, you know, Jenna Riggs' Next Door Boy, where they dance the Thrillers. That guy.
What?
You know, I like him.
I know that one because if you know what what's the
wait. Repeat it. I didn't hear you well.
Okay. Oh, you know Jenna Riggs' Boy Next Door, where they dance to the Thrillers.
Razzles,
that one.
Razzles, baby. Razzles.
This is a very Jersey
thing. You're weird at playing these games. You don't give hints. You have such a bad poker face.
Shut up.
Don't you know any better, you redheaded stepchild?
No one knows what that means, Joe, except for you.
I love that movie.
Oh, fuck.
I saw it in theaters on a date.
Yeah, you did.
That didn't work out. So.
Oh, well, makes sense. That was like 2000.
I bought a bag of Razzles right afterwards. Hey, Brian, do you have it?
Hell no, I don't know this shit.
Yeah, this is a very Jersey question.
Joe, let me handle this one.
All right, so TJ, who do you have?
Guys, Jennifer Gardner, Ben Affleck's ex-wife, Mark Ruffalo, 13 going on 30. It's a classic coming of age film.
It's not to rip off of Big.
Oh my god, I guessed
that
it.
movie. Speaking of,
I guessed it too. The Hulk.
Sure.
Oh my gosh, I also wrote Hulk, but you can't see it. My notebook's in Canada now.
Regardless, Brian still wins.
Yeah.
But now it goes Brian, TJ, and Yusuf, because Yusuf demanded the last question be worth 2 points.
In order of attractiveness, also.
I'll take second place all day because I'm losing right now and everything else.
Also, for everyone listening at home, 13 Going on 30 is a wonderful film that you all should watch and be familiar with.
My wife loves
Big knockoff. It's just fucking whatever.
It's great. It's at least it doesn't have a child rape.
What?
Yeah, well, that's what it's missing. It's missing some child rape.
I love Big too. So don't get me. I like that genre.
Oh, talk about
13
rape.
again. Great.
Talk about rape. How are we talking about the fucking movie you made us watch?
Oh, I can't wait for this because guess what? Guess who didn't?
Let's fucking go.
This guy.
God, that movie is so good. So now, guys, the game is over. I hope you had fun. That was all to Stanley. But now we're gonna defile his name and talk about Drive Angry.
Oh boy.
This was call this watch movie angry. That's what I was doing.
This movie's so much fun.
I feel like
we weren't even watching the same thing. I was like, maybe I should have been watching like what was it, Bangkok Dangerous, and he just got the names mixed up or something.
No, Bangkok Dangerous is terrible.
Also,
this knows it's bad.
So, wait. Also terrible. You mean?
let Joe set up the movie and we can destroy.
I can't wait to Joe to feel how I felt when we did Airborne. You son.
Go ahead, Joe. To set up this fucking movie.
A vengeful father escapes from hell and chases after the men who killed his daughter.
He drives right out of the CGI from Spawn.
Listen. Milton is a fucking legend. And this movie. They named him Milton because the subtlety, right? Oh man, they're so subtle in this movie. This has the same writer. This has the same writer as Jason.
Can I give you my notes?
First of all, it's hack as shit to call him Milton. Second of all, it's ridiculous in the movie for people to like seriously be talking to him and be like, "Come on, Milton!" Like, fuck you.
Two things.
I think this movie's so much fun. It knows what it is.
It doesn't. It doesn't know what it is until like 45 minutes in. It has no idea what it is. So the whole time I have my notes right here. 5 minutes in, okay, it's a revenge story. 22 minutes in, vampire is where I came out of nowhere. I was like, this is a vampire story.
No, it's not.
36 minutes in,
you could, but you don't know. It could have been.
Yeah, this is God versus some Draven thing. 66 minutes in, I'm like, this is just straight up. I don't know what it is anymore. I'm lost. There's so many different things that this movie doesn't give what it is until half hour in. There's no supernatural things until you get the best character in this is William Fichtner, hands down.
Yeah. Can I ask a question?
Yeah. And hey, shout out to David Morse too. There's a good cast in this movie.
Can I ask a question?
The accountant's an awesome character. How he just rolls through town.
I don't want to hear that name again one more time. Don't say it.
William Fichtner.
No, the accountant. If he calls himself the accountant one more time, like, dude.
I just love that. I love that we don't have to. We don't revel in this thing. It's just like, yo, this dude escaped from hell. This dude's chasing him.
I want to hear you discuss questions.
But then they team up.
Don't.
Yeah, I mean, like,
don't.
Boys, no.
But it turns out he's not chasing him. He's actually helping him.
Well, no one wants to see that cult leader succeed. Yes,
that's the thing. And then they also make that doesn't mean anything because like it's not like they're not actually communing with the real devil, and they talk about how the devil's like a boring like accountant type guy. Yeah. He doesn't like when they sacrifice babies. So like what was gonna happen? I was expecting like they were gonna raise some hell with that baby, and then Will Fichtner and Drive Angry were gonna shoot the place up. What happened to that?
All right.
Instead we got like some of the most terrible car chase, boring car chase. I was like, you got that fucking souped up Charger and you can't catch that goddamn RV. Like that thing is like 10 feet in front of you.
Before we get into it, I have a few questions for Joe.
Yeah, okay, what's up?
Let's go, Youssef. Let's have it.
Was this movie made for 3D?
Yes.
Okay.
It was one of those premiere 3D films.
Why is Cage irresistible to waitresses, but Amber Heard is not interested in him?
Because he's supposed to be like that's a surrogate daughter to him. And I love that there's no sexual tension between the two. And every woman that is into Nick Cage is age appropriate.
Did the director go to school with Michael Bay?
That is fair.
Well, actually, Michael Bay trained him in the art of Bayism, and they just passed him off to each other. So, you know, there's nothing wrong with that.
How does the cult leader wipe his ass with those nails?
Well, he doesn't have a dick, but the nails are able to
That looks
stick
real
up
gross.
usually.
Also, to be fair, a cult member probably wipes his ass for him.
Yeah.
They're like
Also-
the 3 shells in that movie. Can't think of it right now.
Counterpoint.
How many cars did they flip in this movie?
I would say off the top of my head about 5.
Why do they waste the bullets of a weapon called the God Killer on humans?
Well, your oxygen levels are kind of off when you escape hell, so you'll waste a bullet or 2, but you'll get your guy in the end.
You only have 3.
You only have those 3. Why does the gun have 5 barrels but only 3 bullets?
Well, 2 were used before of older stories.
Oh man, prequel time, baby.
Universe.
Where's that prequel, baby?
You know nothing about Drive Angry. This movie's phenomenal. And this is the only movie where he's like, I want to drink a beer out of his skull, and guess what? At the end of the movie,
I did like that bit, but that's the thing. A bad movie can have a good moment in it. Like, yeah, it's cool that he drinks that skull.
I don't know. It's not.
Did you guys find Amber? I mean, she's not my type, but I can see the beauty in her. But do you guys find her attractive?
Yes.
TJ, do you find her attractive?
I mean, like physically, but I find her kind of unlikable. Like, I can't connect with her. I don't know what it is about her.
How about you, TJ? Do you find her attractive?
Physically, yes, but she's also.
Would you paint her toenails, her dirty ass fucking toenails before fucking her?
Not before, no way.
That's weird. You just paint everywhere.
No. Yes.
You want to suck them.
Okay. Well,
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I definitely wouldn't get naked to do it. If we were like, I might paint them clothed, but if I'm getting naked, we better both be getting naked.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? I'm not going to sit there
really
naked and paint her toes while she's just fully clothed. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Guys, semantics. That was really just set up for the gun. I never disrobe before a gunfight.
Two things.
Would you eat a piece of toast from that fucking fat ass sweaty cook?
No. Well, yeah, probably.
I don't know. It's pretty salty. Here was when they had that gunfight where he's fucking that girl during the gunfight. She seemed kind of into it, but then afterwards she seemed traumatized. Why was she like?
She was like super into it.
The sound bites of her going like, "Oh yeah,
oh give it to me," and then it's like,
listen. There's one thing on. I've seen this movie several dozen times.
But
on rewatch of like doing some research.
I'm so sad for you, Joe.
That I think is really fucked up is the director or writer was the some bitch, the boyfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
He's I think he's the writer. Yeah. He also wrote Jason X.
Yes. He played Jason. In that.
Yeah, he looks like he would write Jason X in this movie.
And
he was the guy who played Jason in
was he?
3 films.
And
actually,
and
you know what?
I think he also wrote with the director My Bloody Valentine. And what my only knock on this is, knowing that, I do find it creepy of the scenes he set himself up in.
Yeah, especially wait, before you actually do commentary on the movie, I want to do the shitty joke. Is it, when a air conditioner falls on your face,
you should die.
No, not even that. Wouldn't there be like a mark on your fucking face?
Yeah, true.
Yeah, he doesn't even have like a like a scratch.
Also crushed his head.
Go ahead, TJ.
Yeah, it should have just squashed it. That's what I thought was going to happen. I was like, we're going to get a cool, gory death on this guy. And now he gets, I think, later, but it's totally different. He gets
to survive. Fichtner that's a cool character. Like,
also,
when I say this is just one of those movies that I enjoy
a bunch of times before in much better movies. You know what I mean? Like the kind of.
I enjoy it.
Sure. But also, it's like 40 minutes in, and then all of a sudden, this guy's throwing a dude across a room and throwing a bat in slow motion. You're like, wait, so now that's magic and supernatural stuff's involved?
I saw him drive out of hell in the very first moments of the movie.
But that could have just been a stupid monologue.
With like the most boring voiceover ever. Like, I don't know who's doing the voiceover for that.
No. Can you say the line, Joe? Can you say the line that this movie opens with?
Only a
badass motherfucker.
Only a badass motherfucker can drive fast enough to escape hell.
That's like
What the fuck am I watching? What is
You know, I wanted to say, and this goes out to everybody on the show, this isn't how did this get made. We can watch good movies. You can pick anything. You don't have to just ask us to watch shit.
See,
You can
look at me.
all let's all rise up. Let's all take the level of discourse up a notch next time, okay?
I thought you guys would find this movie a hell of a lot of fun.
I had fun making fun of the movie. I'll give you that.
I'm having fun right now, but
Yes.
Nick Cage seems like he's having a blast making this movie.
See, I don't think he does. I think he
don't-
delivers
I don't-
every line with no kind of energy. He doesn't like this whole thing that people have with Nick Cage about what a great actor, and he he changes his performance for every role. No, man, he was trash. And like the first scene when he kills those guys in the car, he's just like deadpan, just plastered. Flat delivery and the worst CGI gore that I've ever seen.
You can find Brian on the DVD bunker. You can find Yusuf at Why I Love Movies. You can find Phoenix on the corner.
Now look. Now, mind you, I know what you think that Nick Cage was doing was fun, but when you have Amber Heard, who's a fucking stone wall,
She's horrible.
Yeah, no, I do have a problem. Like, it's not like she thinks she's badass because she curses every other line, but she's pretty dry.
there was a mean
That's
right
Mira. I mean, look out. That's Aquawoman you're talking about there.
Yeah, guys, and guess what? This movie is definitely going to be better than Aquaman.
I agree with
Oh,
it.
yeah.
Her best role.
Aquaman.
Woman.
Fucking indie movie.
Hello, I'm Larry Aquaman. Welcome to my dentist's office.
Can I just tell you what's really revealing about this movie, though? Is I have the Wikipedia up, not the Wikipedia, I have the IMDb up right now. And guess what the plot keywords are? I've never looked at this IMDb. Female frontal nudity, sex scenes, waitress, naked butt, naked woman. See all 285.
But I love those are clearly the ones that people are most interested in.
Yeah.
And also,
Actually, I was watching this fucking. I told Joe and the group, like I was trying to save time because I like to spend time with my wife and do other things. But I was
my
like,
wife watch this.
yeah, your wife. That's impressive. So I was watching it on my break at work.
just be
And
alone.
the first 30 minutes is so much boob and awkward sex. I just had to stop watching it because I just kept waiting for my boss to walk next to me. Like, what the fuck are you watching at work?
You had to stop me. I had to go to the restroom and jerk off.
Yeah, that's another story.
I will
You're
say,
a real man. You crank it out at work so you can get your focus back.
Yeah, you go into the handicap
or you
space.
take a nap.
Now, I have a question for everyone that involves the non-robed sex scene. How much now out of us four
That they stole from Shoot 'Em Up?
Yeah, well, sure. But how many of us definitely thought he came when he got cattle prodded and electrocuted?
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, I think that was definitely implicated.
You tell me Nick doesn't come? He comes all the time.
Well, I'm just saying, in that moment, you saw in.
There was some movements there that I don't know if he could have stayed. Stayed in. You know what I mean? They do some flips and turns that I wasn't 100% sure.
Hey, Joe. Would you?
Let's talk about how
would you
long
have-
you think Nick Cage's dick is. Is what I'm saying.
Probably like 8. So, hey, Joe.
8.
Very girthy. Hey, Joe. Would you have given up on the necklace pentagram after the first stabbing?
Oh,
after
yeah,
the
that's bad. Yeah, that guy makes some real bad life choices.
Mm.
I have a follow-up question to that.
Go ahead.
That is her femur bone. Yeah, you're
all the
right.
members. No, not the stupid cane that he uses to fucking beat the shit out of Ghost Rider. R.I.P. Stan Lee. But this is the fucking. This is Nick Cage's.
This is a good Ghost Rider movie.
Wish he would have done.
There are no.
This is a good Ghost Rider movie.
No, don't say that. Don't do that. Don't do that. But, how many of them have been what is that, branded with that same goddamn thing used on everybody? I guarantee he used that necklace to brand everybody. Billy Portman.
When it's like also okay, so that dude's a cop. He was like the one guy gets his shirt torn open. He's like a state trooper. So I guess you're not going to like any cookouts at the beach with your buddies or any barbecues. So you probably don't want the other guys. You're gonna be wearing like a tank top or a t-shirt or anything because
I got that.
Speaking of.
And I don't wear short sleeve shirts to my work because I want to be like professional. So I understand his plight.
Speaking of cops in this movie, we have what the official podcast actor is.
Extremely
Tom Atkins shows up. Tom Atkins.
Can we talk about when he first shows up? The first scene with Tom Atkins when he has the long sleeve tee under the t-shirt, like he's like a 20-year-old concert goer, but it's like all tucked in his jeans and shit. Clearly somebody dressed him like that for the scene. It's not unnatural.
They set him up for like most audiences though to be like, oh my god, Tom Atkins.
No, it felt like he came onto set. He came onto set and like wardrobe was like, "We don't have anything for you. Sorry, you're supposed to be like the sheriff and boss here, but we forgot you were coming."
But all we got is this like long sleeve and then a concert tee to go over it.
Can you put this on?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It looks like something one of the PAs was wearing, and they were just like, put it on Tom Atkins, I guess.
So it was.
Nice they don't give him anything. There's no more memorable scene from him. There's no one-liner.
He's only in the movie like twice. I feel like he's only got like 2 scenes. He's barely in it.
He's got to eat, man.
Well, that scene where Will Victor drives the whatever it was truck into the police barricade.
Oh, that's so bad.
And Tom is the CGI and the green screen is some of the worst. This is like on Jaws 3D level stuff.
So bad.
It's so bad.
Yeah, the CGI for what is this 2011? This movie came out or something like the effects in it are really god awful. Actually, what I was really surprised by is that I remember this coming out in the theater. And I'm like, my god, this wasn't a straight to Redbox. Somebody put this in the fucking theaters the whole time. I was like, I could see if this had just been a straight to Redbox. I could understand that, but the fact that somebody like push this full through, it's crazy.
So bad.
I don't know what you're
Joe, do you got anything else to say about your movie? Because I mean, we're running a little long here.
I find it a lot of fun. You could not like it. That's fine. I appreciate it for what it is.
It's like Constantine fucked the Fast and the Furious in a puddle of Monster Energy drink, man.
Phenomenal.
I'll give you this, Joe. It's better than Airborne.
Okay, that's
that much. A lot of things.
Savage. That's savage.
Brian,
it's better than Airborne.
Brian, do you agree with that?
I mean, they can both be bad.
Brian,
like they're just both terrible.
Brian,
they're both very bad. I don't think one is any better or worse than the other.
All right,
I found more things to make fun of in this movie than Airborne. Airborne was like
this movie is
my
ridiculous.
eyes were like glazing over. Like, what am I going to talk about in this fucking podcast? But this one, I have a lot of things to say. So,
all right, I have a question.
It's
ridiculous. Who knows the Bible? Who the fuck is the accountant really supposed to be?
I think he's supposed to be deaf.
Actually, is
because
this?
He does say,
oh yeah.
Because remember, he's talking to those 2 guys, and he's like, I won't see you for another 60 some years, but you, I'm going to see in 2 weeks, or something like that. Yeah. So I guess that's where I was going. With it.
So this could be a question from a foreigner. Even though I'm an American, but I'm viewed as a foreigner, especially on this podcast.
I'd say they're 23andMe. You don't know what I am yet, right?
You're very white. So is this a commentary on America? Because all the cars that are used are muscle cars from America, and the car that pulls from hell is a muscle car from America. So is this writer doing like a commentary on America, like America is hell?
No, there's no commentary in this.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I got confused. I thought there was something there. Sorry.
No. You don't need to entertain that any further.
No. That's fine. TJ, did you figure out who the accountant's supposed to be?
Death.
Oh, but I was supposed to look that up? No. Yeah. So no, I have no. Well, first of all, he says when those 2 guys kick open the door and he says Jesus, he goes, the carpenter, even though he likes his hair short. And I was like, oh, are you supposed to be Jesus? And I was like, that makes no sense if you're supposed to be Jesus.
No, that was a fun line.
I do like that line about how contrary to popular belief, he likes his hair short. That's like a funny, funny little bit.
I always just view this movie as there's shit going on.
He's like Gabriel.
There's shit on the screen.
What was that movie with Dennis Quaid and the guy from Friday Night Lights and at the diner and the apocalypse happening? Someone help me with this.
Not
and
Michael.
Gabriel shows up, and Paul Bettany's like an angel.
Legion.
Legion. Is he Gabriel? Is what I'm saying. Is he's supposed to be Gabriel?
Could be.
Maybe. I mean, I don't.
He's from hell.
I don't think Todd Farmer thought too much into it.
Oh,
That's the guy. That's
tell
the
me
guy.
that twice.
Yeah.
I mean,
It was Patrick Lussier who directed this, whoever that was. But also, when I watch this, I feel like that guy would do a really good Mortal Kombat movie.
okay.
I mean, the special effects were on par with the current the ones we got. I mean,
Mister, the graphics weren't as good as what I expected things to be in my life. You know, I met.
Hey, I got calls them like I sees them here. I'm not out here trying to like run down any classics.
Listen,
I'm just saying that Drive Angry sucks.
The poster of this film says the visionary director from My Bloody Valentine.
You know what gets me off with this, or pisses me off with this whole movie, is it literally took 30 minutes for me, not for me, but I think for a lot of people to realize this was a out-of-the-box supernatural thriller. At first, it just looks like a revenge story. There's nothing supernatural about it.
He drives out of the Spawn CGI at the beginning. Though.
Look,
You're alone, TJ. That's why you're
nothing-
not sexy. You're not. You didn't see the supernatural.
Listen, I think we could all agree that this movie was just not everyone's cup of tea. And where can everyone find you?
Wait,
Joe's
first
done.
off-
He's ready to be done with this.
First off, it's use. We should go into
I'm
Yusef
calling it.
next episode.
So, Yusef,
Right, we need
what,
a Yusef.
what are we watching
God
next
save
week?
us. Give me a real film.
So no, wait.
Or
So
2 weeks from now?
I've been good with my selections. Supposedly, my 2 movies.
No,
that
did you pick Kick-Ass?
Everybody was okay with that.
No, everybody was not.
Yeah, you gave it a 6.5, motherfucker.
don't
What
think
would
I-
you give? What would you give
I
Drive
gave it
Angry?
like a 4. I gave it like a 4.
No. We got it on tape, bitch. Are you Trump?
I was then. I'm not now.
What the fuck? What would you give Drive Angry? Let's go to the rating space.
Yeah, it's true.
It's like a 2.5. I don't know.
I'll give it a 3.
I give it a 3.5, and also Airborne got way
Is that
better
a
rating.
5? Is this at a 5?
There's that 10.
10, bitch.
Is that a 10? Oh,
This is out of 10.
a 7.6.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Airborne wins.
I've been
Joe just added up our scores. That's not actually anything.
You said, what do you pick next?
I've been like picking movies that I think it's okay movies, but that would lead to interesting conversations, which was Mars Attacks and Kick-Ass. But I wanted to do something different since we openly advocate for drinking, and hopefully by the time Brian is watching this movie, he's drinking. So I Googled movies that have drinking games designed around them, and I looked for a movie that is fun and that would lead to a good conversation, but it also could be a good drinking game. So I picked, and I encourage our viewers, whoever is of the age, wink wink,
I
to
don't care
drink.
about you if you're not of age. Just drink.
So I
It's
picked
your older brother or a friend. You know how to get
Yeah,
it.
yes.
Come on.
Yeah, I've been drinking since 13. So the island is different. It's a different beast.
Oh
So,
yeah, that's a great selling point. If you want to turn out like Yusef, just get to drinking, young kids. All right.
Go ahead.
So what do you pick, Yusuf?
1998's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Oh,
Oh,
So
Thank
this is
goodness, a good film for once.
this is
Good?
the drinking game. So this is the drinking game based off
it's a good
internet
movie.
searches.
so are you challenging us to the drinking game while we watch?
Everybody has to drink
Okay.
while watching it,
okay.
and everybody in our audience.
Can we do more than drink? Because I mean, it's a lot more than just a drinking movie.
This is
All right.
this is a drinking game. So
share with us and everyone else through Twitter the drinking game prior to watching around next week.
Yeah, well, I'm just gonna say it overall, and then I'll post it on the thing. So anytime you see American flag, you have to take a chug of whatever you're drinking. Whenever Johnny Depp replaces his cigarette holder, you have to take a drink. When anybody drinks, you have to take a drink. When somebody smokes, you have to take a drink. And when anybody takes a pill or hallucinates, you have to take a drink.
I've already blacked out from that sentence.
Should we like organize like a live tweet to go along, a live tweet session to go along with this, where we all try to get together and try to coordinate and do this together?
Yeah,
that was my ambition. That was my ambition.
All right, we'll look for that between now and the next episode, I guess.
All right, TJ's gonna come over and watch this.
Yeah,
leaving at Joe's house.
Yeah, you're gonna have to, because we're gonna get
lit. Yusef, you can come. I got an air mattress. You want to drive a couple hours and sleep on the floor of my house?
I'll drive.
Do we really want to do that though for Fear and Loathing?
Yeah.
What is this guy not like? Is this guy trying to
hint
around that he doesn't like Fear and Loathing? The guy who just made us watch Drive Angry's now got something to say about
I'm
Fear and Loathing?
I'm more of a Rum Diaries guy. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my God. I'm unplugging my fucking computer.
All right.
Somebody read the book.
Yusuf, thank you. We will make sure to do Fear and Loathing. Brian, where can people find you?
I don't know if you guys have heard. I have a little podcast. It's called The DVD Bunker. You can find it probably wherever you're listening to this right now on the same channel. We release every other week. We talk about movies, big surprise, try to go through something from my collection. A couple of these guys have recorded episodes with me. They haven't aired yet, so be on the lookout for those. And you can find me on Twitter at Hershcules.
Yusuf, where can I find you?
So people can find me at whylovemovies.com, being sexy over there. Since November, I've ramped up my movie intake. It's been a little hard to get out movies doing my masters, but this month I've already posted 8 reviews, and it's only been 13 days of this recording, so I'm trying to do my best and look forward to my my DVD bunker with Brian one of these days, and vote for me, because if you don't want a Latin lover, you don't know what you're missing.
All right. After that disgusting monologue, TJ, where can the good folks find you?
You guys can find me at TJ Dex, at Flyover State of Film on Twitter, where I use that thing to like all my tweets that I put out. It's like it's really cool fourth wall break.
Retweet myself,
like myself, vote for myself.
Yeah, if you guys are watching this physically on YouTube, you're on Movie Squad. Here are the Flyover State of Film episodes, and Yusuf's beautiful face with the chapstick. It's making me want to share it with him. Other than that, guys, I will be getting drunk with Joe for the next film, and check me out next time. And yeah.
And of course,
vote for me.
Of course,
by the time this comes out, they won't be able to vote anymore.
That's like voting for the independent party. It doesn't matter.
Of course, you could find me on the DVD Bunker, just reviewing all my collection, and you could vote for me.
I hear that's a good show.
Yeah, it's fine. You could vote for me on the 89th Doctor's Twitter. Just if you find me a little sensual. Bye, y'all.